Levin adores gorillas so much. One day, he experienced the most unforgettable event of his life when he fell into a gorilla's enclosure during a visit to a zoo. After losing consciousness from the fall, everyone who witnessed what happened to Levin and the gorilla was in shock. The date was August 31, 1986. The incident took place at Jersey Zoo. At the time, Levin Merritt was only 5 years old, and he was filled with excitement about visiting a zoo for the first time. Levin, who had a particular interest in gorillas, was deeply moved when he saw them up close. Unlike other children, Levin viewed gorillas as the guardian angels of the animal kingdom. Perhaps because of this, he got a little too carried away. He began to climb a tall barrier to get a better view of the gorillas. Unfortunately, his foot slipped, and he fell from a height of 15 to 20 meters, landing hard. The impact of the fall caused the poor child to lose consciousness, leaving him motionless on the ground. Levin's mother cried out to her son in desperation, but there was no response. The helpless mother was living her worst nightmare. Not only had her young son fallen from a great height, but he had also landed next to an enormous gorilla. Onlookers were anxious to rescue the child, but no one dared to take a step forward. The gorillas, too, watched the scene with curious eyes. Suddenly, a gorilla named Jambo rushed forward toward Levin. This movement caused the crowd to scream even louder, as everyone feared that the little boy would be torn apart by the gorillas. Jambo was a massive 440-kilogram male gorilla and the leader of his group. When he quickly approached the child, the screams grew even louder, but Jambo behaved in a way that surprised everyone. Instead of showing any aggression, Jambo acted in a manner that stunned the crowd. The leader gorilla sat beside the fallen child, gently stroking his back as if trying to comfort him. Jambo remained by the child's side, without moving him. While Jambo sat calmly, the other gorillas became more aggressive. People feared that the gorillas would attack the child, whom they considered an intruder. At that moment, Jambo did something that left everyone even more shocked. He used his powerful body to shield Levin from the other gorillas, preventing them from approaching. Jambo was truly Levin's guardian angel. He stood by the injured boy, trying to keep him calm. In normal circumstances, gorillas are instinctively protective of their territory and can become aggressive if any foreign creature invades it. However, in this case, Jambo demonstrated how intelligent and compassionate gorillas can be. Without causing any harm to the child, he protected him, earning everyone's admiration. When Levin finally regained consciousness, Jambo was still there, trying to soothe him. The child began to cry from the shock of the fall, and Jambo attempted to calm him with gentle movements. Meanwhile, the rescue team had successfully entered the enclosure. Once Jambo realized that the rescuers were there to help, he stepped back as if to safely hand the child over to them. The other gorillas, who were not as calm as Jambo, were distracted with food to draw their attention away. Jambo simply watched as the child was carefully rescued. The rescue team managed to extract the injured child from the enclosure, and he was immediately taken to the hospital for treatment. Levin spent about 6 weeks in the hospital recovering from a skull fracture and a broken arm before he was fully healed and returned home. After his recovery, he was invited back to the zoo with his family and has maintained a connection with it ever since. Although some school bullies mocked him by calling him Tarzan Boy or Gorilla Baby, Levin received a lot of positive attention from the media. Even years later, he was asked to give interviews about the incident. In one interview, Levin said of Jambo, "He was my guardian angel, and he always will be." A bronze statue was erected at Jersey Zoo to commemorate Jambo's memory. With this incident, Jambo was celebrated as a hero by everyone. The statue was unveiled in 1992 during a ceremony that coincided with Jambo's funeral, which also happened to be on Levin's parents' wedding anniversary. Levin cut the ribbon at the ceremony. Jambo's humane and compassionate behavior earned him widespread praise and admiration in the media. He became known as the gentle giant, breaking the stereotype that gorillas were only wild and aggressive and proving to the world how sensitive they could be. Even as he grew up, Levin never forgot the incident or his hero. Years later, he returned to Jersey Zoo to thank Jambo for saving his life. His love for Jambo would endure no matter how much time passed. Please don't forget to like the video, turn on notifications, and subscribe to the channel.